Hello, happy Friday. And tonight we are going to talk about accountability. And we need to talk about what has happened between Kai Sanat and Adin Ross. And I wanted us to talk about accountability because Kai Sanat says he had to draw a hard line after a racist incident involving Adin Ross's camp. It was specifically Adin Ross's manager, and then there were some things going on with Adin Ross's supporters. So that's fair. But at the same time, shortly before all of this went down, Kai and AMP, which is Kai Sinet's Content Creator Collective, they just rolled out a Target deal during the boycott, during an active black led boycott of Target over DEI rollbacks. So is his outrage with Adin Ross very selective? So let's get into it. So I think what we should do first is let's hear directly from Kai about what went on and what he was upset about involving Adin Ross's manager. And hopefully I
I'm
get.
gonna go ahead and just speak what's on my mind. Word to my mother. I never lie about nothing. Tav called me late at night, 4 a.m., drunk or off something,
Now Tav is Adin Ross's manager.
out his mind. I swear to God, if I'm lying, I'm flying. He calls me. He says, "Hey, bro, Adin having a birthday party. So you need to be here by tomorrow, bro. We'll send you a jet. We'll make sure everything, we'll send you a jet. We'll make sure you're good. We'll fly you out there, bro, if you can." He calls me at 4 a.m. He wants me to be there the evening of the next day. I tell him, I say, "Yo, Tav, I don't think I could be able to do it, but I'll let you know, bro. I'll let you know if I'll be able to do it, but most likely it's last minute. I don't think I'll be able to do it." He said, okay. Just let me know, bro. We're going to have the jet. We're going to make sure the jet good for you. Then he going to tell me, "I'm with Adin right now. He losing millions in his gambling shit. If he keep this up, I'm going to go with the FaZe guys." Just talking about snakes. The closest ones will do the most to you. The nigga gonna say, if he keep this gambling shit up on I swear to God, on bro, what am my mother, bro? He says, if he keep this gambling shit up, I'm gonna go to the FaZe guys. Tav is a white man, by the way. He proceeds to say, from Nike to McDonald's, but bro, keep it real, bro. A chicken Big Mac, a chicken Big Mac. He on my phone calling me the N-word at 4 a.m. in the fucking morning. You're supposed to be a manager, and you what's up with you? The nigga on my phone, 4 a.m., calling me about a fucking McDonald's commercial, saying, "Really, a chicken Big Mac?"
And he wasn't being slick there talking about a chicken Big Mac. And also just going on and calling, like I said, a white man calling him the N word. Excuse me. And I know we've talked about this so much. It's like, I'm sure a lot of us are just over it. Pardon me. Who can use the N word? Who cannot use the N word? Well, I don't debate certain things because I don't have patience for it. So I don't care about or let me rephrase that. If people within the community use the N-word, they can use the N-word if they choose to use the N-word. Anybody who thinks that that gives them then a license to also use it because hey, we're streamers and it's a cool thing to say and we want to say it, or hey, we're rappers and we may not be of the culture, but it's a cool thing to say and we want to say it. Sometimes what happens, and what I've seen happen over the last few years, is that people, some of us within the community, want to give a pass to certain people, which shouldn't have never been the case. I don't care how cool you are. I don't care if you grew up on the block with me or whatever. If you are not African American, you do not need to be using that word. If you are not black, you do not need to be using that word. Period. Period. So, like I said, it is very fair. Very fair. Kai is I guess I don't know if he considers himself African American or not. He was definitely born here in New York from what I understand. And I only say it that way because his parents are Caribbean. But either way, he's a black man and he took offense to this white man using the N-word with him on the phone, as well he should have. It's what we should have.
My face, in my head, I'm like, I should dead like start blacking on this thing now. But deep down inside of me, I'm like, how do I even want to give this energy? Because then, if I was like, I want to tell Adin, but it was his birthday. The way they made it sound like it was down. I'm like, I know the feeling of losing somebody so important on your team. I don't want to f up his mental. And I told him this before anything. So I told Adin, I said, bro, I'm gonna keep it a stack with you, bro. The reason why I've been distancing myself, bro, was because like this is what happened on the phone at 4 a.m. and I should have told you, but like in my mental state, I wasn't in that mode to be ready to be on stream and like just ready to think. And I told him, I said, bro, let's be real. Anybody who's been in this community since 2021, since the comparison's been starting, let's be real, Adin. Your community don't f me. And that's the truth, gang.
So here's the thing. And what would be my question to Kai if I knew Kai personally? In this moment, what are you most upset about? What are you most upset about? Because with this person's manager calling you this N word, this white man calling you the N word over and over, you're saying you didn't take it to Adin. Although I'm like, the fact that you think that Adin would have been a sympathetic ear to that is amazing to me. But see, this is what happened when you sometimes see yourself as an exception Negro. Okay. You are not exempt from racist behavior, especially from racists. All right. So in this moment when he's talking about this situation, I do wonder, like, what are you really upset about? What are you really upset about? Because as offended as you were by Adin Ross's white manager calling you the N word multiple times on that phone call, you started thinking about, well, you know, I know what it's like when you lose somebody good on your team. Say what? How's that your first thought? What is that? What is that? So that makes me feel like, are you 10 toes down on this anti-racism thing? And I'm being sarcastic there because it shouldn't be an anti-racism thing, especially when you're of the culture. Or what is this? And this passion and this energy that you're bringing to social media to tell us about it. Why? What do you want us to do with this information? And again, what do you want us to do with this information when just a few weeks before this, you were doing sleepovers in Target, my guy? So what is it exactly that you want from us? So let's listen a little bit more.
That's the truth. I've been there on your birthday when people could have showed up and did it. Me and you feel what I'm saying? And I've done a lot too, bro. And I every interview I walk in, I make sure I say, yo, Adin definitely did his thing, and he wilded out, and he's such a good creator. But like, and he did for the 100 gift, appreciate it. But bro, like, I'm gonna go ahead and just speak what's on my mind.
So that was the first clip. So that was the first clip out of a longer stream from Kai, just really talking about how Adin Ross's manager called him the N word multiple times on a call, started talking about a chicken Big Mac, and also just, went on and on about it. And he was talking about how he was offended about it. He talked about how he feels Aiden's people really don't mess with him like that or don't rock with him like that. So he's talking about all of that. And like I said, it's just interesting to me because this feels very personal. The way Kai is coming off about this feels very personal. And I'm not saying it should not feel very personal to Kai to have had this experience. But what I'm saying is, when I put that experience up against, well, just a couple of weeks before, you and your group was doing a sleepover in Target, it's a bit problematic when we're talking about the topic of racism. And let me just say this too, to be clear on how I feel about Kai. I know a little bit about Kai. Of course, I know of Kai. I've seen some of his streams. I've seen not the whole stream necessarily, but I've seen his stuff. I've seen what he does. I saw what he did with the Streamers University. And I was really proud of him for all of that. Still proud of him for all of that. Because at the end of the day, this is a black man. He's accomplishing a lot of things in this space. Such a young man as well. So very proud of all that he's accomplishing in that space. But being proud of him for accomplishing all those things in that space, and I'm still proud of him for accomplishing those things, still doesn't mean that I cannot and others should not pull his shirt tail and say, hey, whoa, yeah, whoa. Wait a minute. There's some issues here. Okay. So let's check out how Adin Ross responded to what Kai had to say about what his manager did, and also, how he felt his fan base treated him. Let's see what Adin's response was that. Now, keep in mind, when Kai was talking about what he experienced with Adin Ross's manager, he was very sympathetic to if he took this to Adin, how it might impact him, because Kai was saying he himself knew what it felt like to lose somebody who's important on your team. So it's interesting to me that Kai Cenat actually thought in his mind that if I go and tell Adin that his manager just did this, he's going to have to let this man go. And I hate to do that to Adin Ross because I know what it's like. This is what Kai's telling us. That's what he just told us in the first clip we watched. I know what it's like to lose someone important on your team. So Kai believed that what Adin Ross's manager did was so egregious that if he took it to Adin was definitely going to cut him from his team. So let's take a look at how Adin responded to what Kai had to say.
To be in front of your niggas.
Let me just start it over so we can get everything.
Be in front of your niggas. As soon as a nigga of color hop onto the stream, it's straight watermelon and gorillas. I'll watch Adin streams a lot.
Kai, that's everybody's stream. Faye's stream has it. Bro, Kai, Ray will be on stream making monkey noises.
So did you hear that? So Kai is saying, as soon as I come into your stream, and everybody knows who Kai is, it comes up to Adin, that should be a big deal, right? Just like I'm assuming for a lot of people, when Adin will show up at Kai's stream, it's a big deal. And he says, as soon as he comes there, his community starts posting watermelon and gorillas. And Adin's response to that was, well, everybody does it. Everybody does that. So what's the problem? Well, first of all, that's a big effing problem if everybody's doing that. But for that to be Adin's response, Kai, you need to open your eyes. And anybody really supporting Adin Ross of the community, hello? We can't be that dense. Come on. He's like, no, I don't support hate. I don't appreciate that. You're not going to do that. You're not going to disrespect. That's not what Adin Ross is saying. Kai said, as soon as I come in your stream, your community starts posting gorillas and watermelon. And Adin Ross's response is, well, Okay, everybody does that. Let's go back.
Not in the mental state to be in front of your niggas. As soon as a nigga of color hop onto the stream, it's straight watermelon and gorillas. I'll watch Adin streams a lot.
Kai, that's everybody's stream. FaZe stream has it. Bro, Kai, Ray will be on stream making monkey noises. I'm sorry. I'm going to stick up for my community, bro. It's every single person on the internet. I'm not going for that, bro.
He's going to stick up for his community. So when Kai Cenat says, when other black people come to your stream, there's automatically watermelon and gorillas being posted. And Kai said, I'm sorry. And Adin Ross says, well, that's everybody, bro. I'm sorry. I'm going to stick up for my community. So I say again to Kai, I hope you really do learn your lesson. And maybe some other folks out there need to learn your lesson too. While you're over there having heartache about, man, how do I go to Adin and let him know that his manager just called me a ninja? How do I go to Adin and tell him that? Because that might disrupt this team. And I know what that's like. Adin is saying to you, don't come over here talking to me about my people posting watermelon and gorilla. So what? Everybody does that. You see the disconnect? See the disconnect there? You see the lack of balance there? You see how unreasonable, how upside down do you see the gap between how Kai is thinking about Adin and how Adin is thinking about Kai? Chico, thank you for your comments too. I'm saying, yeah, Adin is a soft tissue that only acts up on the internet. He's a racist internet gangster. I definitely agree with that. As most of these type of people are, they are definitely internet gangsters, and they weave their way into our community often to even get bigger in whatever space they're in. And what I get fed up by is when it happens and when we see it, where it seems like often we're not responding to the same piece of music. Meaning some of us seem like, well, I'm okay with it. You shouldn't be okay with it. Just like Kai, and we're going to get to that, Kai should not have been okay with him and his team having a sleepover in Target. But I digress. Let's listen further to what happened with this clip.
I'm sorry. I'm not going for that, bro. Ray could sit there, do monkey noises and say crazy shit all the time, but it's cool. But as soon as it's my community or anybody else's community, Cuffin will call me crazy juice stuff, and I talk to Cuffin back the same way, bro. I'm sorry, chat. I'm sorry, bro. Like, that's just...
Okay, so that's how he felt. Adin didn't feel anything about the whole watermelon and gorillas thing. He really thinks Kai's tripping. Okay, so he didn't feel a way about that at all. So the next clip that's going to play is the one where Adin is actually talking to his manager. This is the white guy who called Kai the N-word on more than one occasion. Okay. All right. So let's take a listen. Hold on one second. I see your comment, Chico. So let me get to that one for a second. Puerto Rican, and if I miss anything, please forgive me. I don't have on my glasses. I don't know who I think I am. Jamaican, black, and I do say the N-word, but I'm black. I can do that, but I show respect. I don't use it to disrespect, to be racist. I was raised in the hood, and Adin wouldn't last. If you are black and you are using that word, I have no issue with it. I don't care if you're a mixed race or whatever. If I look at you and I see a black person and you use that word, I don't have an issue with it. Okay, let's see here. You good? Okay. Thank you, Chico. But yeah, and there's something to be said about Adin. Adin is clearly from no hood, nowhere. Okay. And even if he was from a hood, he's not black. And so he should not be saying that. And so, and obviously from what he just responded to the whole watermelon and gorilla thing, he doesn't give a F. So let's just be straight up on that. And it shouldn't have even taken this for a lot of people, especially people in the community, to know who Adin Ross is. This isn't his first rodeo in showing us who he is. All right. So let's take a listen to what he had to say to his manager.
Yep.
Are you eating a chicken mac?
No.
Dude, what the fuck is that, dude? Did you say that shit?
I don't know was just last year at your birthday, after we did your birthday. I don't remember most of it. If I did, I mean, I'm sorry. I don't mean anything bad about it.
Nah, yeah, you good. I mean, I'm not one to say you're good and shit, but wait, why did you get mad about a chicken mac though? Like, what's wrong with the chicken mac?
I'm not doing this right now. I'll call you after stream.
You see, there is no issue, right? Okay.
I'm not in the mental state to be in front of your niggas. As soon as a nigga of color hop onto the stream, it's straight watermelon and gorillas. I watch Adin streams a lot.
Kai, that's everybody's stream. Faye's stream has it. Bro, Kai, Ray will be on stream making.
So we don't have to listen to that whole thing again. So I go back to Castanet has a legitimate response to being called the N-word by Adin Ross's manager multiple times on a phone call, talking about a chicken mac and all of this. And you know, so of course he felt the way. Castanet definitely was thinking about Adin Ross and not wanting to go immediately to him with what his manager did, because Castanet thinks that Adin would be so upset that his manager called him the N-word that he was going to let him go. And he was concerned about what that would do to Adin, because he said he himself knew what it felt like to lose somebody who was important on your team. Meanwhile, Adin is over here, okay, talking about, I'm not going to get upset about people posting gorillas and watermelon in my community because, you know, everybody does that. So I am going to be very curious to see how Kai moves forward after this. Even if Adin should come out later and apologize, it will be irrelevant to me. It would be irrelevant to me, because why? I mean, just why? You said what you said. You felt what you felt. They don't even have to do anything together. Kai and Adin are big enough in their own space in this streaming world. They don't even have to do anything together and be just fine. Whatever. But saying all of that to say, Kai, as passionate as you were when you came to the internet to tell us about this, and what made Kai want to come to us to tell us about what he experienced with Adin Ross's manager and Adin Ross's community. I'm not sure. So maybe there's something there that you all know that I don't know, but I'm not sure what was the breaking point to make him come, you know, online and tell us about what happened. But when I heard it, like I said, I immediately thought, now wait a minute. And like I just said a few minutes ago, it's a lot about Castanet that I respect, admire. This young man has accomplished a lot of things, and so I respect and admire that. But on this right here, we're going to have to talk about it now. Okay? Now, how can it be that you are on the internet passionately telling us how Adin Ross's manager called you the N-word, talking to you about a chicken mac 4 a.m. in the morning, and how you felt the way about that? How can you passionately come to the internet and tell us about how whenever you or other Black people would go over to Adin space, his community would start putting gorillas and watermelons on the feed? How can you passionately tell us about how you had to basically draw a line in the sand and you don't want to be a part of that because of the racism? How could you possibly come to the internet with that level of passion? Okay. But yet, a few weeks ago, you were in Target having a sleepover. And so my question for Kai would be, what exactly do you want from the Black community specifically in response to your passion right now about what was done to you? I'm confused. I'm confused. Okay. Let's see. J Money said they don't listen to us on what, J Money? I may have missed something, so I apologize for that. Chico, thank you for all of the comments too, Chico. I appreciate it. And then Chico said they don't, you're right, they don't listen at all. Right. So let's just check out what Kai, because some people may not be familiar, and I'm not going to go through this whole thing because I don't want to bore you all, but I just want to just kind of look at what Castanet really went and did at Target, right? While there's a boycott going on, there's a boycott going on right now, right? But he still felt fine, him and all his crew, okay? They still felt fine going into Target, having a sleepover, promoting their new products. They felt fine about doing that. Felt fine about doing that. And as you join the live, please thumbs up the live. And if you're not a subscriber, please consider subscribing. I do appreciate the support. So we're going to get into what the Castanet facing the backlash. Like I said, I won't read all of this. I'm just going to kind of skip through it because, you know, we got Kai now on the internet being very passionate about how he's been called the N-word by Adin Ross's manager, how when he and other black people go over there, it's watermelon and gorillas being put in the comments. And he's upset about that. He has to draw a line in the sand. But yet, my brother, who I have to say again and again and again, okay, I respect so much what Casanat has accomplished, what he's built. That streaming university thing, I watched a lot of that. And partly because I am so inspired by what this young man has done. So I'm gonna double down on that. While I still pull his collar and say, "Yo, bro, you need to check yourself right about now." Okay? And don't come to us crying about you being called the N-word when you are having goddamn sleepovers in Target while we are having a boycott. And you're promoting your products in Target while we are having a boycott. You're letting them use you to try to influence the community. And you don't even need them or their money. So why do you do that? So anyway, let me get off that soapbox because that might be just a little too much for a Friday. Okay. Let's see. Casanat is facing backlash on social media for teaming up with Target for the release of a new personal care brand, Tone. Amp, that's him and all of his crew. And let's see, as clips of the group racing around the store circulated online, fans complained about the stream. Target trying so hard to get black people back in stores without hardcore apologizing. They let Kai and Amp have a sleepover in the store. I don't care how many influencers they pay, still not shopping there. One user wrote. Another hopped in the comment section of a post from the neighborhood talk to add, the moment y'all realize these rich celebrities don't care about poor and working class folks, the less triggered you'll be. As long as they stay at the top, what happens to the bottom don't concern them. Now, y'all, that person who wrote that may have been talking to all of us, including me. Including me, because I was definitely triggered by the fact that I saw Casanat on the internet being upset and passionate about being called the N-word by Adin Ross's white manager. I was triggered by him being passionately upset that when he would go over to Adin Ross's community, they would be putting watermelons and gorillas in the comments. And I'm like, but yeah, whoa, because you know, I'm with you now, Kai. I'm with you now that they are tripping and bugging, and you do need to draw a line in the sand, cut them off. You know, just stop it. Just stop dealing with them. You don't need them for anything. But I was triggered by, but wait a minute, bro. As much as I'm with you that all of that is some elf shit, bro, what you and Dennis and all what we're just all up in Target having a sleepover, and y'all up in there running around in Target. Y'all running around. Isn't that what the thing just said? Y'all are in there. Okay, y'all, groups are racing around the store, circulated online in Target, trying so hard to get promoting your new product called Tone, right? We really saw a gap in the shelves for a new brand to break through. Okay, whatever, Kai. I'm not even going to read that. I'm not even going to read that. Okay. This is no, Kai. This is just a no. This is just a no. And again, I say, what is it? What is it that you want from the community? What is it that you want from us? What? I mean, do you want the community to like for those who support Adin Ross to not support Adin Ross? I mean, what do you want to say? Do you want the community to just be aware of what's going on between your two teams and how you're that's why you don't really deal with them that much, or you won't, or they won't, we won't see you dealing with them a lot, and you just wanted to set it straight as to why that is and just move on from here? What exactly do you want? Because I'm gonna tell you that clip of when you were talking about him calling you, Adin Ross's manager calling you, let me call Adin Ross's white manager calling you the N word. You were very passionate about that and upset about it. And as a black person, you should be. You should be. In fact, I would be probably even more triggered if you were like, "Oh no, that's all right, it's cool, because you know we cool, so it don't matter. He can call me the N word." Oh, so I'm glad you didn't do that. But what I'm saying is, you can't have it both ways. Okay. If you say that you're going to distance yourself from Adin Ross and his supporters because they called you the N word, and you are bringing that to social media and all your followers because you want to make us aware of how you're taking a stand. Not that you're telling anybody else what to do with Adin Ross, but you have influence. Then I am simply asking you, then why couldn't you find it in yourself to distance yourself from Target in this moment because of the boycott that is going on, that is also connected to racism type issues, diversity, equity, and inclusion rollbacks, them basically playing in our face. You know, the way Adin Ross played in your face, the way Adin Ross's manager played in your face, you know, the way Adin Ross's supporters played in your face, that and how it offended you. Target played in our face. And that's why we're boycotting them. And why they're getting hit with it more than some of the other retailers is because of what they profess. They profess to be down and this, da, 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 and they promised investments and da, 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 da. So that's why. So why? So if you felt it, you felt so how you felt about what Adin's manager and his supporters have done, that you distance yourself. But at the same time, there's another fight going on, a much bigger fight from a community perspective with Target, and you rolled yourself up in there with your crew and had a sleepover. So I am going to say to that, you need to pick a side, okay? And just like what you said when you were on Club Shay Shay, all money ain't good money. All money ain't good money. Casanat is not in need of money from anywhere. Do you know Casanat could get this kind of deal for his products at any store, any big box? He could have gotten this deal with Costco. He could have gotten this deal with anybody. He is Casanat. People know who he is, his influence. They know. I think if it's true, I saw something where he got what, most influential Time magazine or so. He did not have to have a deal with Target. Now, did Target offer him a pretty penny? Oh, I'm sure they did. Because Target and their PR and marketing people are probably like, hey, we didn't talk to the black preachers. We didn't talk to, some of these other people who we think have, inroads into the community. And we're still not seeing people return to the stores the way that we want them to. We've also said some things that kind of make them feel like, yeah, we know we rolled back some things, but, we still here at Essence Fest. And so none of that really seems to be working. So you know what? Let's go the influencer route. Who's the biggest influencer they have? Kai? All right, let's call him. We're going to cut a huge ass check. Not just for him, but also the other people a part of his collective in AMP. AMP. Is it any means possible? I think is what it stands for. And all I'm saying is, just like he said to Shannon Sharp, all good money is not good money. And because Casanat is who he is, Target was not the only game in town for him. He could have went another route. So I am going to not continue to beat a dead horse at this moment. But I just had to make a post about this. And I'm sure there's going to be more to come from this because, with these streamers, it normally is more to come. I saw DDG had something to say about it, but no, DDG, I'm not really trying to check in anything you have to say on any of this. But I'm sure there's going to be more conversation around this. It may be even more conversation around Adin and or from directly from Adin and Kai. I would not be surprised if I saw Adin and Kai together piecing it up and everything's fine now, according to them. But it's not. But it's not. And this is where sometimes people who are uh and this isn't just the rich and famous. It could be even on a job when you are a minority, and this isn't limited to African Americans, but when you are a minority and you are in a position of power or a position of influence, I don't care what career, what business, what job, whatever you're in. When you're in an elevated position and you see that most of your peers, meaning who are on the equal level with you, are not of whatever your culture is, or they're not from a minority culture. I have seen people in those spaces uh not understand, depending on how that system is working around them, that you may be the exception minority. They may show you favor. They may treat you better. You may feel like, well, shoot, now everybody can do what I did because look, I'm here. They let me in. And it's like you sometimes, and I'm not saying it's this way in every scenario, but it's in a lot of different places, but this happens a lot. Sometimes it takes something like what Aiden's manager did to Kai to make you realize you have been the exception minority, meaning they may treat you okay. They may seem welcoming of you and glad you're here and all of that. But if you talk to them long enough, if you hear their opinions or their views or certain things that they allow, you will see how they might really feel about people from your own group. Watermelons and gorillas being posted in your comments, and Aiden Ross says, I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to stand up for my community. Everybody does that. Everybody does that. So it doesn't take much to see is the person really, what do they really stand for? And this is something too that may get a little bit tiring when you are a part of a marginalized group, but it's just what it just comes with it. It's like you're always almost waiting for people to show themselves. And you're so happy when you're in an environment where you don't see that, and you don't see where they're just treating you like, oh, well, we like you, but the rest of y'all, the elephants. I mean, I'm sorry, the elephants. Where did that come from? The gorillas and the watermelons. That's not for you. That's for them other people, not you. When you say the other people, what you talking about? Like my cousins and them? Yeah, them, but not you. Get the fuck out of here. Like, what? 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 So I still wish the absolute best for Kai. I feel like what he did with Target was a major, major, major hiccup. And I think it was a horrible decision. I don't care if he profited from it financially or not. One of my biggest things, he didn't need the money. And he could have gotten this money from any other place. He could have put a product in their stores. He didn't have to go to Target. but I still respect what this young man has accomplished. I'm definitely not like throwing him out like, oh, let's kick Kai to the curb. No, it's not like that. We can't always want to throw away people just because we feel like they did something we didn't like, right? I am very, very proud of Kai Cenat. I'm very proud of what he's accomplished, but I am going to be watching him. Now, this right here is a big strike to me. Okay. This whole Target thing is a big strike. But I'm gonna keep watching him and see what's going on and see if he tries to, I don't know, course correct, or if he does more of this effery, then we're gonna see where we land. But that's just where I stand on him at the moment. Okay. So there's that. There's that. Chico, I really appreciate you being here. For other folks dropping by too, thank you so much for dropping in. And I really, really, really appreciate all of the comments, Chico. I appreciate that so much. Thank you. And I hope you all have a fabulous weekend. I might be back on later because I really, really, really want to do a live with the whole SZA, Nicki, Jay-Z, SZA's next. SZA, Nicki Minaj's next album should be called Crash Out. I'm for real. I'm not even joking. Nicki's next album should be Crash Out. And all this shit she's feeling about all the people, put it in your raps. Put it in your raps. because she's not gonna stop anytime soon. So I might be back on later to do a live around that. But anyway, I don't know. Oh, Chico, I'll check out your videos. You said you did about 2 videos about the SZA and Nicki issue. Okay, I will definitely check out your videos. And I don't know if I'm subscribed to your channel or not, but if I'm not, I will definitely be after this live, and I'll definitely check out your videos and comment on them as well. All right, y'all. Well, I like I said, I think I'm going to come back later on tonight, but in case I don't, look, enjoy your weekend. Be safe. Have some fun. Okay. Do whatever you need to do to just, have a good time. Even if that means just you and Netflix or chilling or whatever, just do that because it's a lot going on. It's a lot going on. All right. Thank y'all so much for stopping by. I appreciate it. Until next time. Bye, y'all.